Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today in this session we are going to see how to query a data in PostgreSQL server. Okay, so as usual the agenda would be what topics or what commands we are going to see into while querying a data in PostgreSQL server, and then as usual a practical demo. So today basically we would be looking into the main select statement and its variation, then column aliases, order by clause, and distinct clause. Now, why this is I have taken as a first session because querying a data in any database is very important, right? You store a lot of data into the database, but if you don't know how to get those data out or how to browse that data, then it's of no use, right? So basically, this is a session where I would show you how to query a data in PostgreSQL server. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a very short topic or short session. So let us jump into the action. I have connected to my PG admin, and for this session or for for all the session here onwards, right? We would be using DVD rental database. So if you have not still had a look onto my session on how to restore the DVD rental database into the PostgreSQL server, you can surely watch that session, and then you can start this session. Okay, so as you can see on my PG admin, I'm already connected to this DVD rental, and let us start with, so right, so basically whenever you want to query a data, right, a select statement, a select command is used. Okay, so basic select command looks like this. You need to specify the select command and then a list, column list. So whatever table you are querying, you can use the column list. If you don't want to use the column list, then you can use star. But as a best practices or as a performance practices, we should never use the star. Instead, whatever column you want really to be retrieved, you can use those as a column list, which are comma separated, then a from clause, and then a table name. So this is a basic structure for select statement. Okay. In this DVD rental database, I am using this address table. Okay, so from this structure, you can see I have written select, and then star. Here I am actually fetching all the columns, then a from clause, and then address. Now you know that semicolon is very necessary when you are working with Postgres SQL Server. So just select this and execute this, and you can see all the columns and all the data are being retrieved from the table from the database DVD rental. This column contains address ID, address to district, city ID, postal code, phone, and last updated date. So this was a very basic select statement. Now, as I told you, that it is not necessary that you will have to retrieve all the columns at all the times. You can retrieve whatever columns are required by you. So you can see here in in our second select statement, we are using only address column. So I'm writing the column name as address and then querying this, executing this query. So you can see now instead of all the columns, only the address column has been retrieved and all the rows have been retrieved. Okay. Similarly, you can have two columns. So in the next select statement, I'm using address ID, comma address. So whenever you want to separate out the columns, you need to use a comma between the two columns, and then again the from clause in the table name. So let us execute this address ID and address. Okay, so this is basically whenever you want to retrieve any data from a table or in a database, right? First of all, you should be connected to that database. So you can see here my this query session is connected to DVD rental. Okay, and under DVD rental we have used this table. Now, what if you want to, concatenate two columns? Concatenate means combine two columns. So, for example, address field is there. Now, I want to combine this address, district, and postal code to make it as a full address. Okay. So, this mark are used. These operators are used whenever you want to concatenate, more than one column. Okay, so you can see here we have actually taken three columns: address, district, and postal code. And then as a full address, we are concatenating this. That is address with district and then postal code. So what will happen? The full address new column. Now this column is not from the database, but a new column on the fly. Whenever the this query statement would get executed on the fly, this column would be generated. And how this would be generated? It would concatenate all these three columns from the table. Okay, so let us execute this. And yes, you can see here address, district, postal code. So these are the three columns from data table, and then a full address which we have concatenated. So for example, for the first row, 47 My Sakila Drive, Alberta. So My Sakila Drive in Alberta. And in between you can see we have inserted the spaces as well. Okay, so this way you can concatenate one or more column, right, to generate a third column, to generate a new column. Now this column would never get stored into the table. This will always be generated on fly whenever this query statement would get executed. Okay. Now this was from, you can actually query a data, but with this select command, you can query or you can generate a static statement as well. So here what I'm doing, 25 into 4, I'm just multiplying this. So if you execute this column, you will get the result as 100. So 25 multiplied by 4. So this is an multiplication operator. So such a query, such static statements also you can use. Okay, now let us see what are aliases, our next topic. Okay, aliases are nothing but you can provide a different name from a column name. So, for example, if you have a address here in my query, in my query on your screen, you can see address. I have aliased as short address, and when I concatenate this address, right, I have alias it is as a full address. Okay, so this is nothing but giving a different name to a column. Okay, this sometimes is very necessary because in a table, in a real world example, right, you might have a very long column name. So instead of every time showing those long column names, you can actually have a short column names to them. Okay, and for that this alias has been used. So with the as clause. Now, as is not mandatory, you can exclude this as clause. Still, it will take as a short address, right? But as a good practice, you should always use this as clause. So, with the help of as clause, you can actually give a different name. So now, whenever this query would get executed, instead of address, the this column would be shown as a short address. Okay, let me execute this query. So you can see here for address it is showing short address, and for this concatenated columns it is showing as a full address. Now in PostgreSQL, even if I write this in a uppercase, okay, then still it will show me in a lowercase only. So this is basically in a Postgres. This is basically the nature of Postgres SQL server, right? So if you want to basically need to display or to have a column name, right? Have a column name. Sorry, if you want to have a column name as you have specified or as you want to display, then you will have to put them into between these two double quotes. Okay. So now with the same query, if I put those my new column name into these double quotes, then instead of the converting it into lowercase, it will show me full plus full space addresses. So this way, if you want to display your own name, a proper name, right? Instead, PostgreSQL converting it into the lower case, if you want to show it as you want it, then you need to put into the double quotes. Okay. Now this were as a column aliases. Similarly, you can have the table alias also, right? Again, the reason remains the same, that sometimes the table names are too long. Okay, and basically what happens, if you it's always a good practice that whenever you are joining more than two tables, right, then you will have please use the aliases so that if there is a common column name between the two tables, so you don't get any error. So it is always a good practice that you put aliases. Now consider that if you have a very long name, then putting such aliases with a column name becomes sometimes difficult. Okay, and that's where we use aliases for table also. Now, giving the alias to the table is also in the same way with the S clause. So here you can see instead of address, I'm now using ADDR. And whenever you refer a column from this table, then from now onwards, if you have given an alias name, then you should always refer it with the alias name. That is addr.address, addr.address, addr.district, and so on. Okay. So this is a table alias. Again, the same thing. Okay. Now let's move ahead with an order by clause. Okay. Now uh, consider that you have queried this, but this will be the order of your results would be shown as per the data stored into the table. But what if you want to order it in a different way, in a specific way? For example, I want to order the final result in ascending order of an address or an ascending order of a district. Okay, so we can do that with the help of order by clause. The basic select statement remains the same. You add a new clause called as an order by and then a column name from the table. Now here also it's not that you can order in one on a one column only. You can have multiple columns. You just need to separate out them with a comma. Okay, so here I'm using district column. So when I query this, you can see a district column. First three are blank and then Abu Dhabi, then SA, Adana, and so on. So now this has been ordered in an ascending order. So whenever you don't specify anything, any ascending or descending order, right, then PostgreSQL will actually order it into the ascending order only by default. Okay. If you want to have that column in the descending order of that rows into the result set into the descending order, then you will have to specify. So here I am specifying. Now if we specify descending, so now you can see here earlier it was in ascending order. Now when I specify the descending clause, then you can see the Zulia ZS came first, and all the result sets are now being ordered into my descending order. Now it's not necessary, as I told you, that you can order in one column only. You can have multiple columns. So in my next query, you can see I have taken three columns: district, address ID, and city ID. Okay, how does it work? Initially, district would be actually ordered. All the result set would be ordered into the district and that too in the descending order. Now whenever there are two same district, in that it would be ordered by address ID and within that it will be ordered by city ID. So let us execute this and see. So now you can see district are here, and if we go to West Bengal, there are so many district. Okay, so between West Bengal you can see initially address ID is being descending, so 507497, so this is in descending order, and then city ID in ascending order. Okay, but as this is currently city ID doesn't make difference here because this is a unique row, no? Address ID is having a unique uh, values, and hence this doesn't make any difference. Let us do for another uh, value. So this is where you can this is the way you can use it. So now I am actually putting Uttar Pradesh as a filter so that to make it more clear. So now you can see within Uttar Pradesh, okay, address ID are in descending order and city ID are in, it cannot be, they are in ascending order, but as these are the unique IDs, this doesn't make any difference. Okay. Similarly, you can actually order by, on any of the columns which is being used into the any aggregate function also. So for example, in next query, you can see address ID address, and I'm finding the length of an address. So basically, all the characters would be count, and then I'm ordering that onto, my result set onto that address length. Okay. So let us execute this And now you can see currently this has been actually ordered in ascending order of this address line. So in this way we can find out that which is the shortest address into the table. Okay, and same way you can put this into the descending order also. So this is in descending order. Okay, 38, 38 you can see. So this is our, these are the two our longest addressed. Okay, now, until this, we see that we only use the columns name to order, but you can use the position of the column as well. But this is not considered as the best practice. So please restrict yourself in using such syntaxes. But yes, you can. So when we say order by three here, which means one, two, and three. So in this case, actually this result set would get ordered by district. Okay, so let me show you. You can see here order by district, and similarly if we put in descending order, then you can see here it is been converted into the descending order. But when I say why we should not use as a best practice, now someone has written this query and you have said that order by three, that is you want to order by district. But on the other day, right, someone comes in and change this select query and they insert one column here in as city ID. So now what happens? The district would moved into the fourth column. Okay, the position of district would change from 3 to 4 because 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now your original query, which was actually ordering by district, would change into what? Address. Okay, because your order by remains the same. So now if I execute this query, you can see instead of district, okay, my result set has been ordered by address, and if your this was very very important to you, then your application is going to break functionally because instead of district this has been ordered by address. Okay, so this was a demo for various select statements, order by clause, and then table alias and column aliases. So hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. Do much more practice as and when you can because this is very important. Retrieving data is the most important part of a development database. Okay, so do as much as practice you can. Please write into the comments if you want any more information or if you are stuck with any of the such queries. Okay, so yes, as usual, don't forget to press a like button and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications on my new videos. Meet you next time with next such good topic. Till then, bye and take care.